13 if you don't already know, and I will be talking to you about the death penalty. So we have Claude Jones and Troy Davis. They are two different people, two different men, two different lives, but they have one thing in common. They were both sentenced to the death penalty. Some people think that the death penalty is inhumane and should be abolished, while others believe that it is a way of justice and that it gives salvation and peace of mind to the victims' families. I believe that it is a cruel and unusual punishment and that it should be abolished. Why would you want someone to be locked up in a cell for a long period of time just waiting to die? One thing that's wrong with it, with the death penalty, is that it's extremely expensive. A lot of taxpayer money is spent on not only the conviction and the verdicts and all the courts, the deaths, the providing lawyers for the convicted who can't afford a lawyer, is also for the ones that I'm sorry. We can go. So for people who can't afford a good lawyer, they're more likely than those who can't afford a good lawyer to get the death penalty. For example, you have O.J. Simpson, who is rich. He was able to afford a good lawyer, and in turn, he was able to get out of his crime. So the risk for the death penalty are that you can end up killing an innocent person, including Troy Davis. As I had mentioned before, he was a man who was convicted of killing a police officer, which 7 out of the 9 eyewitnesses who had said before that he was the one who killed him had retracted their original verdicts. But even though he had appealed his case, it was denied by the Supreme Court, and he was sentenced to death on September 21st, 2011. So another thing, like I had said, if an innocent can be sentenced to death, even with the advanced technology that we have with DNA testing, the criminal justice system can still make mistakes and kill innocent people. Since the 1976, over 1,414 individuals were executed, and 156 individuals were exonerated from the death row, which was they were found to be innocent after being convicted in the first place, and they were released. Let's see. Okay, next one. Another thing that's wrong with the death penalty is that its ineffectiveness in preventing murders and rapes and other heinous crimes. Some think that having the death penalty will make a criminal think twice before doing something that he will regret later. But as of recently, there's an example. Next one. Oh yeah, that's it. And the Facebook killer. If you don't know who the Facebook killer is, he was a man who ended up killing a random stranger after his girlfriend had dumped him, and he videotaped the killing and posted it on Facebook. And he went on a run for like 2 or 3 days, and eventually he was, after a brief police pursuits, he ended up shooting himself and killing himself. So if someone is willing enough to take someone's life, then why would people think that they would care about their own lives? People think, like I said before, that the death penalty it brings justice for the families of the victims, but it doesn't change anything if the killer is dead. It doesn't change what the killer did. It doesn't bring back the dead. So it doesn't really matter either way. So why would you want to take another human being's life? And it also brings up the question, does the government really have the right to take the life of another person? Does it violate the 8th Amendment clause, which was it being a cruel and unusual punishment, as I had said before? It's also a way of being anti-poor and discriminatory, as there is a higher percentage of inmates who are African American and other members of the minority. And with the death penalty, it's sending the wrong message that for killing someone, why would you want to do more killing and cause more bloodshed than is necessary?